Put me in, coach. What's the word, YouTube? It's your boy, Coach TDOT. They subbed me out. But I'm back in the game, coach. I'm back with some more heat for y'all boys, man. So check it out, chat. We gonna get right into this thing, man. So today, chat, we gonna be reacting to why Pistol Pete might be the most talented guard ever. Man, first thing first, RIP to my boy Pistol Pete, man. You feel me? Even though we don't got that much footage, all the footage that we see on Pistol Pete, folks, we already know it's damn near a highlight every single play, G. That's one thing I know about Pete, folks. Every play was a highlight, man. You feel me? And you know, he was he was far beyond his years. You get what I'm saying? If Pistol Pete played today, he'd damn near be Steph Curry, LaMelo Ball, nigga, Ja Morant. He'd be everybody mixed in one. Trae Young, all of them, folks. Pistol Pete damn near averaged like 40 in his whole college career, G. You feel me? So he was really one of them ones. You know? So we're going to check out and see what they talking about in this video. Because to say he's one of the most talented guard ever is crazy. So we're going to see what they talking about. For all my new viewers, I don't fake none of my reactions. All my reactions are live. And we're going to watch this together. You feel me? Man, let's get right into this thing, man. Y'all already know how we coming. We not just the best in the city, but the best in the world, G. Without further ado, man, that's Pistol Pete, man.
He could handle the ball like Kyrie Irving, but with in terms of
hey, make sure y'all smash that like button before we get into this. Let's do it.
In terms of shooting, he was the Steph Curry of his era. He could handle the ball like Kyrie Irving, but with Magic Johnson's passing flair, and on top of everything, he had Michael Jordan's hunger for scoring. But he played before some of those guys were even born, and many consider him to be the greatest collegiate player ever. His name is Pete Maravich. However, everybody called him Pistol. And Pistol Pete played like he was one of the Harlem Globetrotters.
Hey, hold on. First thing first, G. Y'all know this nigga had hella aura. The back of his jersey didn't even say Maravich, folks. Folks had Pistol on the back of his jersey. Y'all saw that shit?
Everybody called him Pistol.
Look.
Pistol.
That shit don't say Maravich. Oh, I couldn't pause it, but y'all can see the OL. The back of this nigga jersey said Pistol, folks. Didn't even say Maravich, nothing, G. They put the man's nickname on the back of his jersey, folks. Say that ain't hella aura, folks. Man, this Pistol Pete, man.
He played like he was one of the Harlem Globetrotters, as many of his moves were never seen before in the NBA.
Maravich, boy, he's got all kinds of moves. What move doesn't this guy have, Bill?
The Pistol was a spectacle, a basketball magician, and one of the biggest stars in the darkest eras of the NBA. This is the Pete Maravich story, and why he might be the most talented guard ever. But before we talk about the Pistol, we first have to mention his father, Peter Maravich Sr., who was the biggest influence on his son's career. Pete Sr. was the son of Serbian immigrants, but because of his childhood job of delivering newspapers, everybody called him Press. Press Maravich fell in love with basketball as a kid, and he played obsessively, earning a college scholarship and playing in minor basketball leagues in his 20s. In 1946, Press signed a professional contract with the Pittsburgh Ironmen in the first season of the newly founded BAA League, which a few years later rebranded as today's NBA.
What?
However, at the
Hold
end,
on.
which a few years Pittsburgh Ironmen in the first season of the newly founded BAA League, which a few years later rebranded as today's NBA.
So him and his pops was the first father-son duo damn near in NBA history, G. Let me look that up, folks. Who was the first father-son duo in NBA? It gotta be them. Bro, that's not what I mean. Who What should I say? Bro, that's not what I mean. Like, who was the first father, son? What should I say, chat? Who was the first father, son? I don't even know, but I guarantee they was the first ones, G.
However, at the end of that season, the Iron Men disbanded, and simultaneously, Pete was born. As a result, Press ended his playing career at the age of 32. Press then turned to coaching, and his love for basketball was quickly instilled in his son. When Pete was only 3 years old, he had already started dribbling and shooting. By 1954, at the age of 7, he had begun playing organized basketball. That year, Pete began training seriously after he told his dad that he wanted to become the best player in the world and win an NBA title. Maravich Sr. was delighted that his son shared the same passion for basketball, and the most crucial thing to Press was for Pete to instill the habit of being one with the ball. He made him carry it everywhere with him, even keeping the ball in his bed when he went to sleep. Some of Press's methods would be considered brutal in today's age, but Pete did everything with pleasure, wanting to prove that he could do anything with the ball. Pete dribbled while riding a bicycle, with his right hand on the way to school and with his left on the way home. He would kneel in the backseat of the car with his head out the window and dribble while his father slowly drove. On the way back, he would switch to the other side and dribble with his other hand. Maravich even took the ball to the movies, and despite people cursing at the bouncing noise, Pete was relentless. When his son was 9,
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, folks. You dribble that ball while I'm trying to watch my movie, folks, and I got my big ass bucket of popcorn and my slushie, folks. I'm gonna have to smack the dog shit out of the back of your head, man. You ain't finna be just dribbling the ball while I'm watching my favorite movie with my bucket of popcorn for my slushie, folks. Your ass is not finna do that right now, man. Talking about he dribbled through the whole movie. I wish the nigga would, G. And especially after I tell you to stop and you keep doing it, I'm for sure smacking you in the back of your head, folks. And I wish you would try to do something, G. Y'all know Pete was little as hell. I would have had to been moving all type of furniture in that movie theater, folks. With his little ass. Man, I wish a little nigga would try to be dribbling the ball during my favorite movie while I'm eating my popcorn, folks. Trying to enjoy the movie, folks. Fuck Pete thought this was, nigga. All that shit. You dribbling out the window and riding your bike. That shit cute and cool and all, folks. That's real cool, Pete. I appreciate you for having that type of admiration for getting better, G. But to be dribbling the ball in the movie theater, folks? Nah, G, I'm gonna have to smack all type of teeth out of your mouth, man. That's just what it's gonna have to be, Pete. Ain't no dribbling during my favorite movie with my bucket of popcorn and my slushie, folks.
Press started coaching at Clemson University, and he would always bring Pete to practices and games. And despite being 10 years younger than the players his father was coaching, Pete routinely challenged Clemson's players in shooting competitions and would almost always win. Maravich became so proficient with the ball that he could spin it on his fingers for hours, a feat that some of the current NBA superstars can't do for 15 seconds.
It's there.
And even though Jason Williams made the elbow pass famous, Pete used to pass with his elbows before he hit puberty. Maravich quickly started participating in 5-on-5 practices at Clemson, and when one of the assistant coaches brought his friend Bob Cousy, a Celtics legend, Cousy couldn't believe what he was seeing. After one of Pete's passes, Cousy stopped the game and shouted, "Who the hell is that kid?" Pete became so good that he started playing on a varsity high school team at the age of 12. Opponents didn't guard him at first because they thought it was a joke to play against a skinny little kid until he started making shots. Then they started taking him seriously and covering him tightly. But Pete would just dribble past him and score.
Look at them motherfuckers.
In 1962, bring him tightly.
G. Look at them chucks. Hey, man. I don't know how you niggas back in the day used to do it, man. But to play in some Chuck Taylors is absolutely diabolical, G. Like, them motherfuckers, first of all, them motherfuckers long as hell, G. Y'all feet look long as hell in them damn Chucks. Alright? That's first thing first. Second of all, the bottom, if y'all ever wore some Chuck Taylors, the bottoms is flat. So that's why y'all see, like, if y'all work out and y'all go to the gym, y'all see a lot of people that lift weights, they wear Chuck Taylors because it got a flat surface. So I don't know. I heard that like flat surfaces help you better when it comes to like pushing power and shit like that. Like when you're doing squats and all of that. So if you ever tried to hoop in some chucks, folks, you just didn't care about your feet. Like you didn't care about your well-being, man. I know that was the only shoes y'all had back in the day and shit, but that's just treacherous work, folks. That's treacherous. G. I don't know how y'all did it. Like I couldn't do it, folks. Like some chucks, folks. Look at these, man. These motherfuckers long as hell, man. Look like some foot long loafs, folks. Y'all go to Subway, y'all get a foot long. Gee, that's what the motherfuckers look like, a long ass loaf of bread, folks. Look at folks shit long as hell, man. Long foot ass.
But Pete would just dribble past him and score regardless. In 1962, when Pete was 16, Press got hired as an assistant at NC State, and that's when Pete got his nickname. At that time, Maravich Jr. was not yet physically mature, and due to his lack of strength, he shot the ball from the hip with an outstretched arm that resembled holding a pistol. Thus, Pistol Pete was born.
So he used to take the ball and go down like this and shoot like this, and it resembled to this person, the guy drawing. So he said, yeah, it looks like he's shooting, with a pistol.
Pete graduated in 1965.
Okay, I
weight
see.
Of just 130 pounds, his father decided he should spend a year in prep school to get physically ready for college. Pete then attended Edwards Military Institute, where he averaged 33 points per game. Now standing at 6'5", Pete was absolutely unstoppable.
Damn!
And despite still being fairly slender, weighing just 160 pounds, he was sought after by every major university in the country. Pete could have chosen any college he wanted, but Press used every available tactic to convince him to go to LSU, where he became the head coach in 1966. He gave me a contract and said, "Sign it, or I'd never have to come home again." "Dad, you know I'm not going with you unless you buy me a car," Pete said. Press eventually relented, took out a loan, and bought him a car, after which the Pistol joined LSU. However, because NCAA rules at the time did not allow freshmen, regardless of their talent, to play for the varsity team, Pete was forced to play only with the freshmen. In his first game, Maravich put up 50 points, 14 rebounds, and 11 assists at Southeastern Louisiana College. The word of his talent spread quickly, and the crowd at LSU would often watch the freshman games and then leave once Pete's game was over.
Oh, hell, man. Come on, G. Y'all can't be telling me y'all still made him play freshman after the nigga. He put up a 50-point triple-double, G. Dumb as Luka 2018 James Harden type numbers, man. Like NCAA, what y'all used to be on, G? Cause how did that even make sense? Why was it even it was a JV and a varsity team like back in college? What is this? High school, nigga? This is Division I basketball, and y'all talking about some damn JV and varsity team, man. I'm glad y'all got that shit out the way, man, because that, like, what is that? Talking about some varsity. What? Man, it's Pistol Pete, nigga. Y'all better put that nigga on varsity average and put up 50-point triple-double, man. Put him in the game.
Interest in watching the varsity team. Pete averaged 43.6 points per game and led the freshmen to a 17-1 record that season, while the varsity team, led by Press, had a record of 3-23. In his sophomore year, when he joined the varsity team, Pete transformed from a local hero to a national sensation, dribbling through his own and opponent's legs, passing behind his back, no-look passes, and torching every opponent that came across him. Maravich was a must-see spectacle. Even in the South, where football had always been the undisputed king among sports, everybody went completely crazy for basketball because of Maravich. The Pistol averaged 43.8 points as a sophomore, 44.2 as a junior, and 44.5 points in his senior year, averaging 44.2 as a junior, 43.8 points as a sophomore, 44.2 as a junior, and 44.5 points in his senior year.
I see why that nigga wore number 44, fo. Y'all could they putting the numbers right here, but y'all see they 44.5 like blood. The amount of buckets that he was giving niggas, G, is just flabbergasting, folks. But I ain't never used that word ever in my life, but nigga, to average 40 every season of your college career, man, That's out of this world. I ain't never, like... But the crazy part is, Caitlin Clark beat this nigga scoring record, G. And she didn't nearly average as many points as Pistol Pete. I think Caitlin probably averaged like 28, 29 on her career in college. But blood, for a nigga that averaged 44 every year, I don't think y'all really understand how many buckets that is, G. In one game. So that means he was at least dropping 44. You get what I'm saying? If you averaging 40, the least you are dropping is 40 points in a game. Nothing under. So that means the niggas that he was going against, they had to be weak as hell, G. It's no way y'all trying to sit here and tell me the nigga averaged 44 for all 4 seasons and the niggas he was playing against was good, man. They wasn't. Y'all can't sit here and tell me that, man. 44? Man, come on, G. I ain't never heard of something like that ever in my life, man. Somebody averaging 40 points? So that means, shit, he was like just getting 50s and 60s, damn near 70s. Man, we gotta look up his box scores, G. Hopefully they got them shits. Cause then you know how long ago this was. This had to be like 70 years ago, folks. We gotta look up Pistol Pete box scores in college, G. Like, come on, man. There's no way, man. Look, he's 36,000. I mean, 3,600 points, man. Come on, G. We gotta see the game by game stats, folks. Yo, where's the game by game stats, man? I don't care about none of this shit y'all talking about. Show me the game by game, folks. So he don't got no game log. This shit, like, they damn near could be lying about this, man. Like, they damn near could be lying because his pops was the coach. So we don't know. They could be lying, man. Y'all ain't got no... Look, college game logs. I guarantee they don't have his stats, like, game by game on here, folks. Let's see. No, we don't care about the NBA, G. We care about college. This nigga y'all talking about he averaged 44. We need to see the stats. Come on, man. Nah, folks.
Nobody gives you a gold medal for finishing your taxes.
Nah, G. It's hard for me to believe this now, man. It's hard for me to believe that he was averaging 44, folks. Y'all had to have been boosting his numbers or something. Because, like, back in the day, it was easy, like, to boost somebody's stats. Like, he could have been probably getting close to this. In my honest opinion, I feel like he probably was averaging, like, 35 to 38 points. And since his dad was the coach, his dad was, like, boosting his stats and shit like that. Like, you get what I'm saying? Because there's no way they could have, like, recollected it. It wasn't no internet back then. It wasn't no... You know, the shit that we just looked up, like, it wasn't none of this. So who knows if that's the truth? They barely had any game footage. I guarantee their games wasn't really on TV like that. You feel me? NBA games was barely on TV like that. So y'all think some damn college games was on TV? And this was what? Like I said, like 70 years ago, folks. So, like, there's no way he averaged 44, man. Y'all can't sit here and tell me that this ain't cap, G. I'm not, y'all think y'all can just tell me anything, I'm just gonna believe that shit, fuck? What do I look like, G? Do I look like a goofy to y'all, fuck? If I do, let me know, G. And I'll just stop doing YouTube, all type of shit. And motherfuckers think they can just tell me anything and think I'm just gonna run with it, believe it, fuck.
Per year, averaging 44.2 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 5.1 assists per game. He directly contributed to more than 60% of all LSU points during his tenure. But despite his brilliance, the Tigers never qualified for the March Madness. With 3,667 points, Maravich is still the all-time NCAA leader in points scored.
No, he's not. How long ago was this video made? This video was made 3 months ago. Y'all are so incorrect, G. We're going to have to look that up too, folks. Who's the all-time NCAA basketball scoring leader? It's Caitlin Clark. What did I tell y'all, nigga? Hey, this nigga, hey, nonstop. Y'all got to get y'all damn facts straight, man. Caitlin Clark, I knew it was Caitlin Clark. She literally passed Pistol P. Like I said, look. Pistol P and Kelsey Plum right under. Like, Caitlin Clark damn near had 4,000 points, G. Like, stop playing, folks. Like, stop playing for real, man. Like, what is y'all talking about, folks? Y'all ass capping.
Playing only 3 seasons and without a three-point line. Analysts later calculated that his overall average would have risen to 57 points if three-pointers were counted, because he made 12 field goals per game from a distance greater than the later set three-point line. By the time he finished college, Pistol Pete was the most well-known player in the country, and he had plenty of options for continuing his career. He was contacted by half of the ABA teams, many NBA teams, and even the Harlem Globetrotters, who offered him $1 million to join him. Maravich dribbled the ball like a Globetrotter. He shot the ball better than all of them, and he knew every basketball trick in the book. Between his legs, behind the back, dribbling 2 balls at the same time, you name it, Pistol Pete was doing it. If he had joined the Globetrotters, he would have been the first white member, but he would have fit right in because he had a unique skill set. However, his dream was to play in the NBA like his dad, and the Pistol was selected with the 3rd pick by the Atlanta Hawks in the stacked 1970 NBA draft.
We are most happy to announce that Pete Maravich will play professional basketball for the Atlanta Hawks.
The Hawks gave Pete an astronomical contract of $1.9 million for 5 seasons. At almost $400,000 a year, that was 10 times the NBA average salary at the time. Pete also signed many endorsement deals, shot commercials, and became a superstar as an NBA rookie, which didn't sit too well with the rest of the Hawks players. They didn't look at him as a beloved star and savior, but a braggadocious white kid with a huge contract who didn't deserve their respect. He wasn't just a great white hope for Atlanta, but for the entire NBA. The problem was also in the management. They didn't want to pay $60,000 to bring Lenny Wilkins to us, and for this guy, even millions are not a problem, said Lou Hudson, the Hawks all-star small forward. Sometimes he would pay the bill at dinner, and they would criticize him for showing off and wasting money. And when he didn't pay, they would say he had all that money and was a stingy a-hole. There were problems off the court and on the court because of his style of play. Maravich continued to play in the NBA just like he did in college, running around the court, performing all sorts of trickery with the ball and throwing unexpected passes to teammates. So the ball often hit him in the head or went out of bounds. One time, we could have played a quick counterattack and he just rolled the ball on the floor. I couldn't believe it and just let it go out of bounds. The coach was mad at me because I didn't pick up the ball. And why did he roll it? Let him do that in the Harlem Globetrotters. Lou Hudson recounted in a situation that
that's how you know them niggas was weak, G. They wasn't ready for what Pistol Pete was coming with, fuck. Y'all wasn't ready for what Pistol had for y'all, man. Talking about why did he roll on the floor? Nigga, cause he like that. He wait like y'all in the NBA for crying out loud, man. Big goofies. Y'all ass was weak as hell, G. Y'all wasn't ready for Pete, man. Y'all wasn't ready for what Pete was cooking, folks. Pete was on a whole nother level. He was before his time. He throwing y'all no-look passes. Y'all niggas just sitting up. Ugly as hell, man. Missing his passes. Pete probably could have had a way better career if y'all niggas was ready for what Pete was coming with, man. Y'all just wasn't ready. Like, come on, man. That's all y'all gotta say. Trying to get mad at Pete for throwing y'all raw-ass passes. Y'all can't catch Pete passes, man.
Perfectly reflected the relations in the team. Pete averaged 23.2 points and 4.4 assists in his rookie season, but for the first time in his career, he didn't enjoy playing basketball. Unlike in college, the main question for fans was no longer how many points did Pete score, but did the Hawks win? And the answer, more often than not, was they didn't. The Hawks had a losing record in the regular season, and in the playoffs, they were quickly eliminated in the first round by the Knicks. Pete averaged 22 points in the series, but shot a poor 37% from the field. The media and fans altered the context of the nickname Pistol Pete, portraying Maravich as a gunslinger who prioritized his numbers. Pete took those claims personally, and in 1972, his sophomore year, he took 4 fewer shots, averaging 19.3 points, but his assists numbers went up, with 6 dimes per game. He also contracted mononucleosis, causing him to lose 20 pounds, which certainly had an impact on his game. That year, the Hawks won only 36 games, the same as the previous year, and in the first round of the playoffs, they were once again knocked out pretty easily, despite Maravich scoring 28 points per game. But in his third year, Pete was tired of trying to be liked by his teammates. He started doing what he knew best, being a wizard with the basketball. Maravich averaged 26.1 points and 6.9 assists per game, earning his first All-Star team selection and a point on the second All-NBA team. The Hawks won 46 games, but in the playoffs, the John Havlicek-led Celtics were too strong once again, winning the series in 6 games. In his fourth year, the Pistol improved his scoring, averaging 27.7 points per game, the second best mark in the league, and made another All-Star team. However, the Hawks plummeted to a 35-47 record, failing even to make the playoffs. It was clear that the marriage between Pete and Atlanta wasn't working out. So the Hawks traded him to the New Orleans Jazz, an expansion team from Louisiana. The Jazz needed a proven star to sell tickets and establish the franchise, and no one was better than Maravich, a local hero from LSU. The Jazz gave the Hawks 2 players and 4 draft picks for Maravich, who regained all the power and the rock star status. But just a few months later, his world began to crumble. His mother had been in a bad mental state for a long time. She was neglected in a family that lived for basketball while she felt excluded. And in late 1974, her struggles ended in tragedy as she took her own life. After that, Pete began to reevaluate his life and career. And more than ever, he wanted to...
Hey, man. That's tragic, bro. That's tragic, folks. That shit just made my heart hurt, man. For a woman to feel like she had to take her life because she felt excluded from her son and her husband's doing like the stuff they had going on with basketball is bro. Man, my heart go out to Pete, man. That's tragic, bro. To lose your mom like that, bro. Why you have to peak your career, your greatness, man, that's terrible, bro.
Achieve his dream and win. Reevaluate her struggles ended in tragedy as she took her own life. After that, Pete began to reevaluate his life and career, and more than ever, he wanted to achieve his dream and win a ring. So he began to transform into a more team-oriented player rather than a star. However, the Jazz were a new franchise with few quality players, and Pete, despite his desire to win and play team ball, had to do everything again. In 1976, the Pistol averaged 26 points and made the first All-NBA team. In 1977, he led the league in scoring with 31.1 points per game, finishing third in the MVP voting behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bill Walton. On February 25, 1977, Pistol Pete scored 68 points against the Knicks, which at the time was the 7th highest scoring game of all time and the highest scoring game ever by a guard.
Here's a basket for him if he can convert. 68 for Maravich, and a steal. Look at him fight for this ball. The Pistol's doing it all. A great ball game.
That feat is even more impressive when we know that he was guarded by Walt Frazier, one of the premier defensive guards of the 70s, and that he scored 68 without a three-pointer. But the Jazz didn't make the playoffs for the 3rd consecutive year, and Pete was getting desperate, willing to do anything to win. In 1978, Maravich played the best all-around season of his career, averaging 27 points, 6.7 assists, and a career-high 2 steals per game. He would have probably led the league in scoring once again, and likely even pushed the Jazz to the playoffs. But then, unfortunately, he injured his knee halfway through the season and was forced to miss the final 32 games of the season. Before he got hurt, the Jazz had a winning record, thanks to a 10-game winning streak. After Maravich went down, they lost 8 in a row, and their playoff hopes were shot. To make things worse, the Pistol hurt his other knee in the offseason and missed 33 games in 1979, averaging 22 points per game. The Jazz missed the playoffs again, and the owner decided to move the franchise to Salt Lake City, where the current Utah Jazz were founded in 1979. Due to persistent knee problems, Pete was often unable to practice. A new coach, Tom Nasalki, believed that if he couldn't practice, he couldn't play. Adrian Dantley emerged as the new star, and the Jazz fired Maravich in January 1980. As a free agent, he was picked up by the Boston Celtics, along with the man who would take his role of the NBA's great white hope, Larry Bird. Pistol accepted a supporting role, mostly coming off the bench, while one rule change finally unlocked his biggest weapon, shooting. The NBA introduced the three-point line that season, and Maravich made 10 of 15 attempts, shooting an unreal 67% from three. After 10 years in the league, Pistol Pete found an unreal 67%.
Wait, so y'all mean to tell me, folks, that this nigga only took 15 threes throughout the whole season? 15? Like, back then, that probably was a lot. Like, what the hell? Y'all said it like, then he shot this every game or some shit. They like, he made 10 out of 15. Like, nigga, what? Niggas is shooting that in one game now. Like, one person. Steph is shooting this every night. Come on, man. Hey, come on, G. Y'all capping right now, folks. Talking about 10 for 15, folks.
Percent from
they ass
after
wasn't
10 years in
nothing
the league,
back
Pistol
in the day.
Pete finally won a playoff series as the Celtics swept the Sixers in the first round. However, Pistol's knees were shot, pun intended, and he was able to play just 9 minutes per game, during which he scored 6 points on average, making 61% of his shots. In the second round, the Celtics lost to the Sixers in 5 games, and Game 5 of the series was the final game of Pistol Pete's legendary career. He retired at the age of 32, just like his father, with career averages of 24.2 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 5.3 assists. At the time of his retirement, he was the 7th leading scorer of all time, and he's currently 25th in points per game. And even though the Celtics wanted to re-sign him for the 1981 season, Maravich feared that his knees would give up, and he didn't want to be the version of himself far below his basketball talent. And when the Celtics won the 81 title without him, Pete fell into a deep depression because he realized he could have achieved his lifelong dream.
Oh, man. What? Oh, Pete. Man, Pete, this got to be the biggest fumble of NBA history, man. This got to be the... Come on, Pete. Pete. Your ass played all these years, man. All of these years. And literally the year you retire, the team that you was on wins the championship, man. Hey, I feel bad for Pete, folks. Pete Maravich supposed to be one of the legendary ones of this league, man. But you know he not, because he ain't got no rings, G. This would have been the capper, folks, of a great... This would have capped a great career off, man. Yo, last season, you win a championship. You go out on top with Larry. Motherfucking Big Larry, folks. Like... And you left, G. R.I.P. to Pistol Pete, man, but that's tragic, folks.
He became addicted to alcohol and nearly went down the same path as his mother. It took him several years to recover, but through faith and the support of his family, he bounced back. In 1987, Pete was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and in January 1988, Maravich traveled to California to be interviewed by evangelical author and psychologist James Dobson for his radio show. He and his friends were playing basketball in a local church gym, and during the game, Maravich collapsed on the floor. Dobson said that his last words before he died were, "I feel great." An autopsy revealed that Maravich had been born with a heart defect, lacking a left coronary artery, and the other artery had been compensating for the defect during his entire career. In one interview in 1974, Pete said, "I don't want to play in the NBA for 10 years and then die of a heart attack at 40. But unfortunately, that's precisely what happened, as he played for 10 years and passed away 6 months after his 40th birthday. But despite passing too soon, Pistol Pete's legacy is alive and well, as many of the skills he showcased during the 70s are now used in the NBA. If you look at LaMelo Ball's underhand full-court pass, it's nearly identical to Maravich's from the 70s.
Rebound. Maravich with an underhand pass over to Smokey, and Goodrich goes for two.
Magic Johnson was famous for his no-look passes, but Maravich did that first.
Behind the back, how do you do? A little showtime there.
Rajon Rondo was famous for his behind-the-back fake pass, but you guessed it, the Pistol did it 40 years earlier.
Maravich, boy, he's got all kinds of moves. What move doesn't...
Turnaround jumper like MJ, or readjusting his jump shot midair like Larry Bird, it was all routinely done by the pistol.
Pistol fires. Oh, come on.
Maravich was a trendsetter who inspired generations. And if your favorite ball handler didn't learn from the pistol, they likely stole some moves from someone who stole from Pete.
Kobe to himself, and he scores!
When he played the game, the NBA was dominated by centers like Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem, and guards like him were unicorns. Other than Jerry West, nobody else attempted that many jump shots, let alone made them with great accuracy.
Not too many can shoot off the dribble better than Pistol Pete.
With an unbelievable floater and layup game, finishing with both hands, killer handles, and the ability to both score and pass, Pistol Pete played a brand of basketball 30 or 40 years ahead of his time. If he played in the three-point era, he would likely average around 30 points per game. And if he had played on a better team, he could have easily been an MVP multiple times and won several championships. And since he was the greatest ball handler of his era, having learned everything himself, Pete Maravich is arguably the most talented guard of all time.
I'm not a greedy person. I don't care to have 10 rings. I just want one.
Thank you for watching. And if you like this...
Damn, G.
During his...
Hold on, let's see what this spell. Damn, man. R.I.P. to Pistol Pete, man. That's tragic, folks. Folks ain't even get the ring he wanted, man. I could just tell by how he just said that last statement. Like, that's all folks wanted was a ring. All he wanted was a ring, man. And again, couldn't and didn't get it, folks. So... did Pistol Pete ever have any kids or anything? Like, let's look it up, fool. Hold on. Did Pistol Pete have children? He had a son named Josh Maravich and Jason Maravich. Josh walked on in 2001 to 2005. Dang, Josh passed away in June of 2024. Wow. What? He died at 42? Bro, that's crazy, bro. What? Man, hey, they got some bad genetics or something, bro. Because there's no way, man. Y'all all died young as hell. Like, nigga, your dad died young at 40. You died at age 40. And your son died at 42. Like, what the hell? Hey, man, y'all family needs to go get checked out, folks. Because ain't no way, man. Y'all dying that early, folks. Like, damn, G. But, hey, man. All right, like I said, R.I.P. to Pistol Pete, man. Folks had a legendary career. He was really one of them ones, G. Like they said, he was way before his time. You know, his time was cut short, but he had a legendary career, man. College, by far, was legendary. In the NBA, the only thing, like I said, that capped him off, that didn't get him to, like, legendary status for real. Like, he's legendary, but he ain't Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Kobe, Bron. Like, he ain't on that level because he ain't got no rings. He wasn't a winning player. You know, and he was on the Hawks. Like, Hawks weren't never known to be no winning franchise. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, but, man, that's a tough story to hear, man. But, like I said, this is why leaving a legacy is so important, G, because you never know when your time is. So, like, you want to leave your mark here on earth, and Pete did that, folks. He was one of the greatest college players ever, and he had a great NBA career. Even though he didn't win, he still, you know, put up great numbers, man. So, man, this was interesting, bro. Pete was always one of the players that I wanted to know more about. So that's why I bought this for y'all today, man. So for all my new viewers, I hope y'all enjoyed that. You know, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. So, boy, Coach TDOT, man. I'm up out of here. I love y'all.